Hello, this is Dr. Darnise coming back on with another installment of our lifestyle, our high vibe lifestyle theme. And I want to come on and talk about how the high vibe lifestyle is one of faith and not fear, which leads me to talk about Paula White and her recent antics, shall we say, in her church and in the media. And it's I made a video on my other channel about her too, and it's um, it's from one perspective, but this perspective is more about the high vibe lifestyle for Black women. As Black women move more towards spiritual awakening, we're moving further away from fear-based religions, and so much of evangelical Christianity has been based on fear, on keeping people feeling in guilt and shame, um, and judgmental about other people. And so, one of the main reasons that so many people are leaving Christianity is because it feels like this antiquated um, religion of men telling people what to do, men telling women what to do, men setting the stage for how life is to be conducted, right? And so there's a movement where that's no longer going to work, right? What we see happening is the evangelical church is imploding. Also, the Catholic Church, in many ways. I mean, the corruptions are just numerous, and people are moving away from that kind of religion and wanting to explore more of their own spirituality, which leads to spiritual awakening and empowerment, which is what I think that we're all after, is our own spiritual awakening, our own enlightenment, our own up leveling of consciousness, right? And so when we look at somebody like Paula White and the recent sermon she gave, where she was praying for the angels from Africa and South America to come and help her president get reelected, it's so problematic, right? For one thing, this president, he didn't think much of South America or Africa, right? And so it's very telling or very interesting and maybe weird, not maybe, definitely weird, that Paula would say or call on the angels from Africa, that there would be something of value in African spirituality, African culture that she called upon to help her president get reelected, who's shown himself to be no friend to Africa or African descent people. So that's one part of it. But also, and maybe you've known this or maybe you haven't, is Paula White is a televangelist who, before becoming well known on television, she had a ministry in Florida, and her main audience was Black women, and probably still is. Well, I don't know main anymore, but she really came to fame because of Black women accepting her as their spiritual leader and teacher. That's really how she got her start. That's really how she blew up, came up. As we say, she was very much in Black Christian spaces, accepted by, many of the well-known, prominent Black male Christian ministers. They accepted her and brought her into those spaces. After she had made congregations full of Black women who supported her early work, her conferences, her, filled her congregations, bought her books, watched her when she first got on television, sent money to help her build her ministry. So then she switched, though. Then once she became prominent, then she switched and became who? Like we saw her go through even a physical transformation. Plastic surgery, blonder and blonder hair, and then she made made known her real political affiliations, and so she started to really demonstrate who she was in terms of her politics and her real religion, right? Like the politics of what? The politics of, the politics and religion of status quo, the politics and religion of a status quo that's not working for people of color, for poor people, LGBTQ people. Just add to the list. But my point is, and for us, as we talk about the high vibe lifestyle, Paula White represents a type of religiosity that is going away because it's fear-based. And as we commit ourselves to that high vibrational, spiritual transformation, spiritual awakening kind of lifestyle, we're not interested in that. It's like, bye, Paula. But it's not just Paula, right? It's goodbye to that type of religion, right? And even so, Paula's appropriation of the Black preaching style, you know, if you haven't, you've probably seen the video by now. If not, just Google Paula White and all of the memes that have been made about her, because, you know, in some ways it's comical. She's appropriating Black culture even as she preaches, even as she goes into speaking in tongues and all of this. And so it says to us as Black people, reminds us of our power, because essentially Black women in spiritual spaces made Paula White prominent, and then she turned on that same Black population. But in a high vibe lifestyle, we in spirituality, we affirm higher consciousness, a spiritual awakening, right? Where we're interested in developing ourselves and affirming ourselves and having direct relationship with the divine, rather than having some old institution tell us you have to do this or else you're going to hell, or who you are is wrong and so you're going to hell. And so what we're saying, it just can't stand. I mean, old religion can no longer stand as the planet shifts, as humanity shifts, moving into the next dimension, moving into the next density, moving up higher. Just like so many of our institutions, we are seeing crumble. Institutions that we were told were too big to fail. And right? So, you know what I want to say? So it's not just Paula White, right? It's also Kenneth Copeland, who likewise had a similar response to the election of Joe Biden. You know, from his pulpit, he, I don't know, like mimicked this hysterical kind of laughter, like this can't be true or something. He just went into this laughter. The media says that Biden has won, and this sort of maniacal, crazy sounding laugh that he got his congregation to participate in with him. Again, you can just Google Kenneth Copeland and you'll see that foolishness also. So, you know, from the outside looking in, we're looking at caricatures of a high vibe lifestyle, because they espouse out of their mouths that they're helping people attain a high level of spirituality. That's what they're saying, but they're not actually. And so people who are really seeking that high vibrational awareness and consciousness look at that and say, you've got to be kidding, right? This is a caricature. It deserves to be made into a comical meme because it's not real. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and just talk about how it's a contrast to, I'll say, old evangelical Christianity, and Paula White in particular, her performativity, and Kenneth Copeland, and these ministers who are, you know, digging in their heels in the old way. It's just not going to survive. It's just not going to make it. As younger people show, they say, and they don't go to these churches. The younger people say, we're not doing that. They're choosing a higher vibration already. They're choosing to come from a place of higher consciousness and spirituality that they feel already. Younger people already feel it. And so it's somewhat comical to me that older people don't realize that it's already over. It's already over. And these younger people who are like 20 years old now or younger, they're looking at the old guard like Paula White, like Kenneth Copeland, like any number of these televangelists, and saying, no, we're not going to do that. Looking at the old Catholic Church, no, we're not going to do that. They look at Pope Francis with hope, because Pope Francis is you know, obviously he's in charge of the whole, Catholic Church and the Vatican and that whole old institution. But Pope Francis is somewhat of a breath of fresh air within that old institution. So I guess he offers some hope. But anyway, I guess what I want to say is about Paula White. Bye, girl. Bye to you and that whole old way. We are looking to expand in consciousness and have a high vibrational lifestyle. So leave me some comments about what you think of as a high vibrational lifestyle. So what I said was we move from faith, we move from fear into faith. The high vibrational lifestyle is about faith and not about a fear-inducing, guilt-inducing old form of religion. So if you stay with me to this end of the video, I appreciate you. Please subscribe. You see I'm trying to grow the channel over here. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come back on. This won't be too much longer before I come back with another video. So bye for now.